Sorry?
Like for almost 3 weeks now.
You've seen the same one?
Yeah.
Really?
It's down but not out.
Yeah.
Yeah, how's everybody doing?
Okay.
Flight is over.
It's over. Time to get out.
Yeah, time to get out.
Like, how was your flight?
Exactly. Yeah.
Hello.
We done yet?
You're gonna have it.
You can stand up now.
Standing on the back.
Yeah, we'll put it on the seat.
Sure, you're sitting.
And we're up.
You're on the string.
Yep.
That was a good takeoff.
Look at the buffalo.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. How you doing, Carly? You okay?
Yeah, up and away. Waiting for the sunrise.
Sunset's starting to look good. Sunrise.
Sunrise, yeah.
A bit hard to have a sunset.
Yeah. Sunset is like, okay, what time is it?
We've been going a while.
You see how busy this area was. Although we didn't have like the migration here for so long, we came here for a short time in a small group also, and then off they went. We may be able to go in the over the river. It's turning right.
That's good.
Well,
That's really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did everyone hear that? We might just be able to.
here is dry, but that angle there, that's the river. Some water there.
Cycle that happens there every year. It gets dry. The animals that remain are weak, so the predators stay behind and take advantage. Ones that stay behind.
The gazelles, no, the gazelles.
Thompson's gazelles.
Thompson gazelles.
Similar colors.
They don't like me. If it happens that we get a good rain here, they may stay here till the other group comes back. Good morning. You see they have their calves.
Yes.
Some calves with them. Oh, two ostrich to the right, way there, two of them, two males.
Oh yes, way in the distance. Oh. Everybody's awake.
So you imagine flying here when the big numbers here. It's like ants. On hornbill.
Oh yeah, we haven't seen that yet. There's a ground hornbill, a big bird on the ground. Big black bird, big red face, long bill. Looks like a turkey buzzard kind of thing.
Oh. But he has that distinctive shape of the hornbill.
Yep. Okay.
Just looking.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a vulture?
The vulture's on something
Oh,
right there.
sitting on that tree is a vulture.
Yeah. Well, no, down on the ground there were 4.
We were basically going west. I guess it's true now.
Now you can see us to the left. That area is very green.
It is, eh? Extremely green. What is that area called?
This is Rumeti River. I don't know. This here we call it Kipekecho. Here.
Kipakecho, and that area of the Kipakecho area of the Grumeti.
Yeah. Roads. That will help. If that area is busy, there's no way they will have a time to come in. But right now, there's no roads here. we meet them there before we actually go up, because there's no road. They're just driving off road right now. Now you can see the leg.
Yeah.
Very pleasant, thank you, Mohammed.
Karibu.
Going a lot longer than usual.
Fly over that. Technology.
And there's no road there.
There's a road which is going to Serengeti. You see over there, just before the tree. There's actually a ranger post on that side.
Yeah, we've got the road coming here as well.
Yeah, this is the one that goes to Ndabaka. I wish we had roads in here. This would be beautiful, having a flag.
Yeah.
Very green. Okay, descending now, 100 feet a minute right now.
Pretty cool.
If we go like 700 feet a minute, we feel from here.
Yeah, I felt as we were rising.
You still with us there, Connie?
Yep.
Very good.
Isn't this fun?
Yeah, it is.
We saw that.
A little bit too late.
Yeah. That's Freddy. Now you have to avoid him. Huh? So we'll be
Lot of
going.
hyenas.
We'll take you next. We'll be more close to the main road when we go back.
South,
Okay.
yeah. It's a bit hard to land with these trees.
Well, we can land anywhere. If you
Really?
want, we can.
Okay.
You see where that car is.
Yeah,
In
there
the
was-
slow wind, you can actually land.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with the slow wind, it's only
Yeah.
7.5 knots. You can land in a small landing spot.
Okay. Ahead. There's very few roads in this area. The animals are going to be very skittish. So when you drive past, they're probably going to run.
Look at that.
Yeah, I see.
I think they should make a road like follow the river all the way. Yeah, it's a beautiful area to do it. Isn't it?
It's a great place for a lodge. No one else is here.
Yeah, or you get your camp somewhere there. Nobody will ever come in this country. You have to know the road to go to your camp.
Yeah.
Now it's huge open area around.
Actually good for a concession.
6 knots. Probably tip over. I'm not sure. Tip over. Now the third one. Confusing. How many lenses did you do?
Hey. Good landing.
Hey.
Yay.
Okay. You can unhook yourself. No problem. Don't ask me about snakes. Yes.
That's her biggest fear.
I know.
Somebody told you.
No snakes here.
Alright, you can unhook yourself. You're free to come out. You're free to come out.
Unhooking is the easy part.
I'm not going to step on you. Well-oiled machine, eh?
Yeah.
Well, Carly, now you can say you did it.
There's pictures to prove it.
Next one is skydiving, eh?
No.
We're doing that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going skydiving.
Like tandem. You just hook to the other person. Yeah.
It's a nice young man.
Okay, then.
You guys just see some interaction out there with the what are these for the two?
Oh,
Oh, the
hyena.
hyenas. That was really nice to see, actually.
Right.
Really, really nice to see.
You hate to see that. You think you need that.
Yeah, I
You haven't had anything to drink yet.
How are you?
Before we drink.
You back?
I'm back
Yeah, you
on
good.
ground.
Before
It
we
was
drink,
nice.
we have champagne.
Yeah.
It's very easy. You just land your balloon, you celebrate, okay? You may think, why are we having champagne? Everywhere you go after the balloon flight, they will have to have champagne. Why are we having it and how it actually started? If you don't mind, I can take a time to tell you quickly.
Yeah.
It was sorry. It was done by the French people. Merci beaucoup to them.
Oh,
They
yeah, of
did
course.
hot air balloon, and at the same time when they were doing a testing flight, that's when they introduced champagne. It was a peace offering to the landowners. So wherever they land, they were ending up fighting
That's right.
because it's something they didn't know before. Okay, so going back to the history, if you know a little bit of French, if you say Montgolfier, it means hot air balloon. They named it from the Montgolfier brothers. So their father had a paper factory. So two brothers sitting outside the factory and burning some papers, and some piece of papers were rising up with the sky with the smoke. So they saw it happening and they thought, well, if we capture the smoke, we may be able to fly. They didn't know that the hot air was lifting things. So they went back to the factory, collected more papers, they glued them together, made a huge bag. They put it upside down just like this. And the plan was they attacked the cage underneath it, and in the middle of the cage they made a smoke. That means burning anything that can produce the smoke. But before they fly themselves, they thought, well, we have to find out if we have enough oxygen to survive off the earth, because nobody had been up yet. So they started by the animals, a chicken, a rooster, and a sheep, something like that. Different kind of animals to gauge which altitude the animals will die without oxygen. However, the animals survived, but the local people are taking them for lunch and they destroyed the balloon completely. It was to prove to everybody in the village that they have killed the devil. So the in that case, the Montgolfier brothers gave up with their project because they didn't know what happened. But after a few hours, these local people came running, telling them about how they saw the thing, how they destroyed it, and how they killed the animals. Knowing that, they went back to their project. And the rumor has already gone to the king, King Louis XVI, so they had no option. They have to find a permission from the king before they actually fly. They told the king, they demonstrated to the king of what they wanted to do, and the king loved it. He said, okay, if this is successful, then I'm gonna keep the flying machine. So I'll be the first person to own the balloon. They said fine, He said, while you are making your balloon, I'm going to organize and set up the date. So 21st November 1783, that's when they did the first flight. A biggest gathering ever up to that date in Europe, outside the palace. But there was a problem. Everything was ready to inflate, but there was no pilot. The king was a kind of surprised why the Montgolfier brothers also don't want to fly this balloon. They said because of what happened with the animals, our father was not happy for us to take the flight because he didn't want us to die. So we promised him that we make the balloon, but we won't take the flight. He said, I can understand. He said, okay, I do have another idea. Bring me off to the gallows and bring me 2 prisoners. We put them for flight. If they die, we just take 2 more until this is successful because they're criminals. But Queen Marie Antoinette, she was very smart and she said, you cannot do that. If these people survive, first of all, you have to let them free, and secondly, they are going to be very, very famous. So you better come up with another idea. And the king agreed. He sent them back to jail. They were happy not to go back to jail, but not to fly. And he had to set up the prize. Among the crowd, the first person who decided to take the flight, his name was Pilatre de Rosière. From his first name, Pilot, in short, which means pilot in French, that's where we get the name pilot in the aviation today. In case you didn't know that. And he was too scared for him to go by himself because it doesn't mean that he liked flying, he just wanted the prize. So he called his very good friend, his name was Marquis de Land. And both of them, before they jumped on board, they were giving a mask because of the smoke and a very long stick with the wet cotton at the end to reach the balloon and extinguish it in case it catches on fire. So the flight was only 23 minutes, and you imagine coming to land, they did not have the burner to control the descent, so they just extinguished the fire and let it come down. And the first touch, they were both ejected from the basket. The balloon continued dragging and setting crops and everything on fire. Again, the local people came running with the pitchforks trying to attack the balloon. They saw these 2 pilots who fell earlier. They come running and trying to retach themselves with the flying machine. They turn on them. They went back. They managed to save their life all the way back to the king, told him of the story that flying is very, very good. Landing is something we need to work on. But the weird thing is the local people doesn't know who we are, so they end up fighting with us. So we need to introduce ourselves to them. That's when the champagne playing the part of it, because you can only have champagne from the king. He decided to make a special label with his signature and a French flag in it to give it to the pilots. Upon the landing, they need to hold it really high and introduce themselves to whoever is coming to fight with them, that we are actually French and the king has sent us for the test flight. So ever since, that's why everywhere you go after the balloon flight, that's where you get champagne. Alright?
Great.
It was a peace offering and you deserve it. We also have mango juice if you want to mix. Alright? Are you gonna catch it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, if I catch it, I get a free ride, right?
Not today though. That's right? Oh, you stay there. I'll bring it close to you. Right. There you are. Easy. That was easy. I wish I could put it far away. Keep running.
Thank you. It's a great flight.
Happy. Okay, enjoy your drink.
You want to mix?
You want to put some juice in it?
No mix, thank you.
Want to mix?
Oh, thank you. You can keep your juice ready.
How was the drive, Freddie?
Wow.
saw one big bump.
Yeah. We got another one. Another one was a little bit huge.
We got that one in the video.
Don't
But
worry.
I told you I have good suspension. I couldn't hear.
You used to have good suspension.
All right, cheers everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you. In
Yeah.
Tanzania we say maisha marefu, which means long life. So maisha marefu.
Yeah, major minute.
You're a great pilot, Anthony.
Thank you.
And a good spotter.
Yeah, right.
And a good guide.
Flying guide.
But he didn't tell you today it was his first flight.